And good evening from Blue Devil Gymnasium on this Saturday night, January 27th, 2024. This is Blue Devil Basketball here on MeccaSportsCo.com. And welcome, I'm Jeff Wellman as we get ready for tonight's contest. Devils took their first loss in the Western Big Six last night, all the way up in Sterling. Good ball game. Well, it got to be a good ball game late. It was not a good ball game early. Real early, the Devils led 10-2. But at that point, that was the last time they were almost leading as they led, I believe it was 12-11. Found themselves down 16 points in the second half, but came back, tied it up, took a lead, and then it was tied ball game. And that's when Andrew Claver, who had not hit a three all night long, fired a dagger from 24 feet off the side with Camden Brown coming out on him, hit the basket with 5.6 seconds left, and we had ourselves a 65-62 game. And the Devils tried to get the ball in, did not even have a last-second shot, and suffered their first loss. Devils come in 20-2, 7-1 in the conference. On the other side, Batavia, their last game a couple days ago, they beat St. Charles North, and so they are now 15-6, 7-2 in the Duquesne Conference up there, with, I believe, Lake Park leading the conference. These two teams played last year on December 10th, and let me back that up. Last year, meaning 2022, and the Devils at Batavia won 49-35 over the Bulldogs. So the Devils come in. We did have a great performance last night from Keyshawn Thomas, 22 points, 10 rebounds, and Longcore 14, even with the foul trouble that he had in the ball game. And so it was a tough one, a nice 3-hour-plus trip home, so it was not a Gilligan's Island tour at all, although it sure felt like a long trip. And following me up on that was Coach Pettit. And, Coach, we're here back in Quincy. We saw some other games today, and you saw John Wood. We'll talk about that. But here we are coming non-conference, and it's time to get back on track and refocus.
Well, and this is going to be a very stiff test, for the Blue Devils tonight against, a school up in Chicagoland that could come out of some regionals, and challenge for a sectional championship. So, good challenge tonight for the Blue Devils. They need to bounce back from what they did last night.
Indeed they do. We'll break down the conference. Also, while we're broadcasting here tonight, tough signal in the gym tonight, and so if we do have trouble with the picture, my apologies. In here to do a little tweaking as he must do. So, but we are here, and we'll bring it to you. We've added another tuba since Tuesday, so Saturday is a 3-tuba day. And Coach, tonight, don't know a lot about Batavia, but with a nice record, played up north, 15-6 and 7-2. The difference with these two teams, the Devils give up just around 43 points a game. The Bulldogs just under 40 points a game. Similar in that respect. On the other side, though, the Devils are averaging 66.5 points. This team is right around 50, so the Devils want to score more. Defensively, though, I see a similar group on both sides.
Well, and what I look at Batavia is, I believe about a week and a half ago, they played Moline at Wharton and lost by 5. So this is a very seasoned team, very physical team. They go 6'7", 6'6", and you almost got to do that to go up against Moline, especially at Wharton. So this is a team that's not afraid to go anywhere and play anywhere. So I think it's going to be a good challenge tonight for the Blue Devils.
Batavia has been on our schedule. Usually we seem to play them before Christmas as our non-conference. This way we got them a little bit later this year. Speaking of the Western Big Six from last night, of course, the Devils lost 65-62. Rocky, though, turned around and beat Moline 49-47 by 2. So right now, and we don't have an even Olive and Geneseo score, but as Coach always remembers, the haves and the have-nots, well, the haves are the 4 teams we just talked about.
Yep.
So we'll break down the conference right now. Quincy is 20-2, 7-1, still in the head of the conference there, as Moline 19-3, they are 7-2. They've snuck an extra game in. Rocky's a half game ahead of us, as they are still 8-1. They've got the extra game too. So 8-1 Rocky, Quincy 7-1, Moline 7-2, Sterling 5-4, and the other teams still where they were.
But
you
Rocky,
threw a butt in there, though.
well, Rocky, we'll see what they're like, because we haven't seen them yet. We haven't seen Moline yet. So second half of the conference for Blue Devils, it's going to be brutal.
And after losing those 2 games earlier, Moline and Rocky, those are towards the end of the season here. We'll have Moline within a few games there, and then we'll have Rocky at the end of the season for a Thursday.
Yep.
Home Tuesday, away Thursday. Nice on that situation because we can get the win at home and then go up at the Rock Garden for that last game of the year.
Yep, I tell you what, the Rock Garden's always a fun place to go. Wharton, now, if you Blue Devil fans can't get up there, mechasportsco.com, tune us in. You can listen, hopefully watch with the video. So, gosh, you shouldn't miss too much Blue Devil basketball at the end of the season.
Think about that, Coach. We know places that we have our toughest video issues is in our own gym.
Well,
but that's just because of the line's not set. We're working on, an old gymnasium with a lot of metal in here. We had trouble even with signals in our radio days, and that was locked in too. So you'll get what you get. We're glad that the audio still is in there, and of course, for two old radio guys, I like the radio call anyway.
I'm not an old radio guy. I tell you what, I love what I see out here at Blue Devil Gymnasium tonight because we are about full to the rafters here on a Saturday night for, Batavia and Quincy High School.
And looking at the girls, of course, we were at Sterling last night. We thought about spending the night and doing the Sterling girls game, but it was a 1:30 game. There was no way to get down here in time. In fact,
January 27th, that's today.
Well, that's today then. So if that's the case, I have Galesburg for 3 losses, and then East Moline would be on top at 10-1. So we'll double check that.
Galesburg girls fall to United Township.
Well, there you go. But
55-42.
Oh, they said it was their second loss in a row because they do have a loss earlier in the season. So as the lights go out here.
Yeah, they're 8-3 in the Western Big Six. So, yeah, I mean, Galesburg has hit a little run. But, I mean, that East Moline Quincy High game here is going to be dynamite.
Time for our national anthem, I believe. So let's stand up and honor our flag. And we thank all those who have fought for us for this great country. And that was our national anthem and the band. And we'll give you the starting lineups in a second for Batavia. And then I'm going to shut up as one of our listeners and viewers said, hey, let us watch if they'll be able to see it tonight, because we will mention again, we're having some pixel issues on the screen. So do stay with the vocal here. Batavia's starting lineup, first of all. Didn't think we brought our double out yet. 15-6, 7-2. They will start Kyle Porter, number 3. He's a 6'6" senior. Then Josh Cayley, he's a 6' senior. Also Nate Nazos, that's the coach's son, I imagine, 6' senior. Jax Abayos, 6'7" junior. And rounding the lineup out, CJ Valenti. And he is a 6' senior, wears number 40. So 3, 5, 10,